Hello and welcome back to our RedRun challenge in Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, where we have got another set of episodic quests to launch into. And you may notice we've got a different housekeeper now, because we can. So let's go ahead and select the next episode. And this will be the final high rank episode. After this, it's all G rank. Hello, Fellcoat. I remember back when you were Neckcoat. That's me. Uh-huh. Oh, okay. Uh-huh. Makes sense. Oh. I sure do. Okay. Uh-huh. Alright. Sure. Uh-huh. Hey, yep. Sounds good. Now, if memory serves, this episode quest series is special in that it's got particularly low time limits, so I'm going to actually eat for some attack up, though it's just attack up small. And also, if memory serves, this series has both an Acantor and a Nuconlos in it. And before it came out in Monster Hunter 4G, a lot of people, myself included, were hoping that we might somehow manage to get a quest with both Acantor and Nuconlos, because that's something that a lot of the lore for the series has been pointing out as this is something the guild absolutely does not want to happen. If an Acantor and Nuconlos teamed up, they could destroy the world or whatever. So, yeah, a lot of people were hoping that maybe that would happen, because it's basically something they've been hinting at as a possibility since Nuconlos debuted. But alas, no such thing happened. Will I really need to exhibit tremendous courage? I'm pretty sure I just need to exhibit a sword on its face. It didn't really bring any special tricks, but that's fine. I don't need them. I just need my sword and its face. Okay. Trading blows already. Oh. Good job falling down, stupid. Get back over here. Whoop. Hitboxes. Garugas are among the worst ones in the game. Which is a shame because Garuga is quite aggressive. And that is just a regular old knockdown. Charge fast. Okay. Well, at least that hitbox is solid. Because if that hitbox was bad, we'd be poisoned right now. Okay, you can stop that. About the stopping. You know, I'm not your only target here. Thanks for missing. Yeah, Garuga does have some very nice hitboxes, but some very bad ones. It's a mixed bag. Certainly, all of them are better than they were back in Freedom Unite, when Garuga had last appeared in a game released in the States. But a lot of them are not much improved. Now, as much as I pride myself on being a professional tail cutter, I don't think I'm going to focus on getting the tail, simply because I want to get this quest done with faster, and I have no need for a Garuga tail. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put my sword on his face. Like that. And that. And that. And that. I know it's not a circus show. Thing had its face dodge my freaking supercharge. But we managed to get all the face breaks in one knockdown, so that's always nice. If I manage to ride it again, I'll go for the tail. Then again, I expect its tail should actually come off fairly easily. Shouldn't have to go for it specifically while it's knocked down, especially because it's not too terribly difficult to hit with a greatsword. You just go, bap! Flinched it even with a bounce. Of course, bounces don't do less damage by themselves. They just indicate that you hit a part that was not particularly weak to the type of strike you did. So, I mean, yes, technically, due to that, yes, you're doing less than you would if you hit a part where you wouldn't have bounced. But the damage of the attack itself is not reduced by the bounce itself. It's just an indicator of hit zone weakness. Oops. So many horns. Always interesting how if you flinch a monster while it's doing its tail spins, sometimes... Wow, that was a quick ride. Sometimes it'll basically just teleport itself back to whatever position it was in before it started them. It's kind of odd. Okay, I'm pretty sure the tail would come off with just a single charge, so I'm going to go for the wing. Because I don't want this to end prematurely. Of course, I missed the wing with the supercharge. Yeah, I know, you're upset. Missed the tail because it was waving around. I think... When was it that I first did this event series? I think I was at a BlizzCon, and I was doing it in my hotel between days, because it had just come out, and I didn't really have anything else to do, so... Monster Hunter. It's generally what I turn to in almost any situation. Monster Hunter is always good for killing a half hour here or there. Sometimes more, sometimes less. Really depends what quest you choose. But yeah, I remember having a little bit of difficulty at first because I was soloing, and the time limits were really short for the Ukonlos, at least. And I was worried that I wouldn't do it, and then I managed it in like the last 2 minutes. Okay, that's tail flinch number 2. It should pop off soon. And hey, we've got a nice big opportunity. Okay. Wow, really? I'm not. I thought you were watching closely. Can't you see what weapon I'm using? Oh, there goes the wing. Seriously, Felcode, I thought you were watching me closely, and yet you don't even know what weapon I'm using? There goes the tail. Now we've only got one break left, and it's this wing! Pow. I keep getting hit by that because it's always my habit to circle around monsters in a counterclockwise direction. And, that happens to be exactly where Garuga's first beak slam goes. It's like Garuga was designed specifically with me in mind. Which is weird because I wasn't playing Monster Hunter when Garuga first showed up. I joined up with the demo for Try. That was my first Monster Hunter experience. And then I got Try and loved it enough that I bought a PSP and Freedom Unite so that I could fight more monsters. And it was certainly tough going back to an older, clunkier engine. Stop yelling! But I managed it, and I had a good enough time. Saw most of the monsters that hadn't made it forward. But, yeah. And then from there, I went on to Portable Third, which I imported for my PSP. And then for my PS3, imported the HD version. And then I got my first Japanese 3DS, which was the Monster Hunter Tri-G Special Edition, so that I could play me some Tri-G, though that was only about 3 months before it came out over here in the West. Still, I feel like it was worth it. Got to get myself to late high rank, just soloing everything, having a good time fighting the new monsters. Well, I guess the only new monster really was Bracky. The rest were just subspecies at the point that I had been at. And yeah, had a great time with that. Then got both versions of 3U when it came out, 3DS and Wii U. Played both of them quite a bit with friends, local and online. Hooray for quest clear. Then I got Monster Hunter 4 on my Japanese 3DS. Had a lot of fun with that, played that. I think I sunk 700 hours into Monster Hunter 4. I was playing that almost constantly. And then 4G came out, and with 4U having been announced the same day, same calendar day, technically the day after due to time zones, I ended up not playing 4G as much as I probably would have. Though I still put a lot of time into it, it got less time than 4 did. Though that might also have been just because I was able to transfer everything over from 4, so basically the high rank village and G rank guild hall were the only things I had to do because I had already done every single quest in Monster Hunter 4. So I went and did all the stuff in 4G. Got all the crowns except for all the awards except for the ones for getting all the new crowns. And then I got 4U, and I've sunk a good... How many hours have I put into this? I think I'm at, like... I'm nearing 700 in 4U. My first file is... Or no, I think I'm like just over 600. Yeah, first file is 500 and change. This file is 80-some. So yeah, I'm nearing 600 hours in 4U. And then I've imported Monster Hunter Cross. I'm at about 200 hours in there. But I mean, hey, it's fun times. I love me some Monster Hunter. Uh-huh. Sure. Uh-huh. I sure do. Yep. Okay. Makes sense. Well, let's go after this Acantor. So I think this is where they actually start having... Yeah, 20-minute time limit for an Acantor. It's a bit short, but we might be able to do it. I certainly hope we can. Just going to eat for Defender High because attack up small isn't huge. Plus, we also get Moxie. Defender High and Moxie is a great combo. Though Moxie is admittedly less useful when you're on Ingle Isle, because if it kicks in while you're standing on any of the hot spots, well, then you die anyway. Also, if you're affected by Fire Blight, you die anyway. Ooh, these are just L's, not L pluses. Do I have any? No, I don't have any Scatterfish. That's a shame. Do I have anything I can bring to make this easier? Not really. So we'll just... Oh, wait. Adamant Seeds are handy to have against Acantors. And that ought to do it. So off we go. And I think we'll have this be the last quest of this episode. Save the Uconlos for next time. I gotta say, I was hooked on this series from, I think, like my third, maybe fourth hunt in the Try demo. I had first gotten interested just seeing the design of the Legiacris in the... why am I watching this cutscene? In the commercials for Try, featuring Ironbeard McCullough. That was... Seeing the creature design is what got me interested in the series. Like, I had no other knowledge about it other than that commercial. But the Legiacris looked really cool, and it's like, I can fight that thing? That looks awesome. I want to try that. And then I heard there was a demo disc available in GameStops, which was unusual for there to be a demo disc for a Wii game. But, hey, I'm sure as hell not complaining that it was there. I actually had to call around local GameStops in my area because the demo disc had come out like a week or two beforehand, and most GameStops were out. But one of my GameStops that was kind of local, it was like a 25-minute drive. It had one disc in stock. So I asked if they could hold it for me. They said, sure. I went and grabbed it and played it. I had done some reading on the Game FAQs forums at the time, and it seemed the general consensus was that the Lance was the superior weapon. It was just the best weapon in the game. So I figured, okay, I'll try this out. I did not enjoy it. I went up against the Great Jaggy, and I ended up getting myself killed. Not by the Jaggy itself, or at least not only, because I didn't really have any way of attacking it other than basically, well, it and its little buddies, who were very annoying to me because the Lance doesn't get super armor. Yeah, I wasn't able to really clear out his little buddies because the Lance only really had the pokes, and I didn't know how to do the mostly useless little Lance sweep that it's got. And so, yeah, I didn't enjoy myself. So I decided, you know, screw whatever weapon the forums say are the best. I'm going to choose the weapon that I think looks the coolest. And that was the Switch Axe. And sure enough, the Switch Axe really clicked for me. Like, I knew what I was doing with that weapon from the moment I picked it up. And I was having a great time with it. Like, it had the variety of attacks I wanted. It had the reach. And it just felt so good to use. And I killed the Great Jaggy on my first attempt with the Switch Axe. So, you know, I decided that would be my weapon. And so it was. For the demo, at least. And I went on to fight Kurapeko, because that was the other monster in the demo, other than Great Jaggy. And was shocked when the Peko summoned in a Great Jaggy. Like, Oh man, I just worked so hard to kill that thing, and the very next boss monster can summon another one? I thought it was a boss. But no, that's just what Peko does. And so I tried to work around it and had a great time. Like, that was the first time I felt like there was actually an ecosystem going on in Monster Hunter, and that was really cool. And so I timed out against that Peko, because I was spending too much time running away from the Jaggy. Because, I mean, I was still new at the time. I didn't really know how to handle myself too well. And I certainly couldn't handle two monsters at once. So I timed out. And then I decided, hey, I'm going to get in there. I'm going to kill this Peko. And then it called in something I didn't recognize. And that was my first meeting with Rathian in the demo for Monster Hunter Tri, called in by Akura Peko. And yeah, from there I was absolutely hooked on Monster Hunter. Seeing that incredibly cool and incredibly scary and intimidating creature come in response to a call from what was clearly a lower level monster than it. And I managed to keep her separate enough from the Peko that I was actually able to beat the Peko that time. And then I decided to, you know, fight Peko a few more times till I'd gotten used to him. And then I would try and actually kill the Rathian. Uh-oh, I've been grabbed. Do I have poop? I do have poop. Which is good because a Cantor's Pin does massive damage. So yeah, I tried to kill the Rathian. It didn't go so well, but I started learning her patterns. And eventually, I did manage to finally bring her down in that demo. Though I timed out trying to kill the Kurpeko afterwards. And yeah, then I went and got Tri and had a great time with it. Like, I loved that game. That was my most played game on the original Wii. There goes the tail. And yeah, basically, I really have to give Capcom my thanks for... This is my favorite video game series. Has been since that demo disc. And, like, it was a series that I had never heard of before. And if it hadn't had a demo on a system that I had, I probably never would have gotten to play it. And it's hard to imagine a world where I do not love Monster Hunter anymore. Like, there was a time when I didn't know about it, but there's never been a time where I haven't absolutely loved it since I played that disc. And it's just... I have yet to have a game recapture the same feelings that I got from just that there. I was blown away by it. And from that point on, I was looking up everything I could from all the official sources. I didn't want to look at any unofficial sources. Because spoilers, I guess. It's not fun if you learn everything that's in the game from people who have already played it. I'd rather look at promotional materials. Like, they had a series of videos showing off several of the monsters in the game. So I was watching those like multiple times a day and having a grand old time just imagining how the fights would go. And yeah, I have yet to find another game series that gets me that into it. Like, I love the creature designs here. They just get my imagination going so much. And that's just, it's amazing. Like, I don't get this from other games. Which is a shame because it's a really cool feeling. Like, just being in awe of the things you're fighting while still knowing you have to take them down. Shadow of the Colossus did that pretty well, but it doesn't get me going as much as Monster Hunter, because Monster Hunter, it's like, it feels like this is a living world, an ecosystem. It doesn't feel like it's what remains of a world that was once majestic. But enough about me gushing about Monster Hunter. I'd actually really enjoy hearing how you viewers at home got yourselves introduced to Monster Hunter. And how you feel about the series. Like, do you play it yourselves, or do you just watch me play it, or what? And, yeah, what was your introduction? What first hooked you, if you are hooked? Because, you know, I think that's one of the coolest parts about video games and vibrant communities, is that you can actually hear all that. You can hear why other people love the things you do. Because sometimes the reasons are different. But we're able to bond over the fact that we do all love the same things. Kind of. Because, I mean, yeah, some of you might not enjoy playing Monster Hunter, but like watching it. That's always possible. I know I certainly enjoy both. And with 10 minutes on the clock and 2 breaks remaining, I think we've probably got this. Yep, there we go. Didn't get the breaks, but hey. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I am worthy. So, a little preview of Monster Hunter Cross. In Cross, you don't have to mash A to carve. You can just hold it. You also don't have to crouch as long as you're holding A, because it automatically crouches you and keeps you crouched until you're done carving. It's a small change, but it feels really nice. Man, I used the Switch Axe for pretty much the whole of the Try demo. I had to use Hammer until I unlocked Switch Axes in Try itself. And I used Hammers in Freedom Unite as well, because Hammers were the other weapon that just felt right to me. And, yeah, used Switch Axes exclusively until I was like 30 quests into Monster Hunter 4. Then I tried to give the Insect Glaive another chance, and actually it clicked with me, so I used that for all of 4, all of 4G, all of 4U until this run. And then I've been using the Switch Axe again in Monster Hunter Cross, though. In Generations, I think I'm going to be using the Longsword. It's one that I've never really been able to properly get into, but I've wanted to try, especially with Adept Longsword being pretty fun looking. I really want to give it a shot, actually learn how to use it properly. And then for the challenge run that I'll do in Monster Hunter Generations, I'm thinking I'll do Lance, that initial weapon that just still has never clicked with me. But we'll see. It's a Nukamnos. Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's a Nukamnos. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Yep. All right, so that's it for this episode. I hope you've enjoyed my reminiscing about Monster Hunter. It's pretty appropriate because with Monster Hunter Generations coming out June 15th, or no, not June, July 15th. Sorry about that. July 15th. it's a celebration of the Monster Hunter series thus far. So really, there's no better time to reminisce. So yeah, please do put in the comments how you got into Monster Hunter. And, you know, just what it was that first really hit you about this series that keeps you playing it or keeps you watching it or whatever. I'm really interested in hearing everyone else's stories, because I know we've all got our own. But yes, that's it for this episode. Join us next time when we fight that Ukanlos. And then maybe start another G-Rank quest. Or not. I don't know. We'll have to see what it is. But yes, join us then for that. See you then, friends.